Hey everyone, we're your hosts, Chelsea
and Robin.
And this is Don't Mind If We Do.
Finally, a relatable podcast for women where we can talk about whatever we want.
Don't mind if we do.
I'm gonna wanna get crazy. Anything but behaving like you do. Make you. Oh, don't mind if we do.
We are back again for another episode. Yay us.
Imagine it. Don't mind if we do.
Don't mind
Episode
if we do.
798. Just kidding. It's like, it feels like we've been going for a while, which I enjoy. I think we're, I can't even believe it. You guys, you're not going to believe this. Today, I get the big cup.
The big cup. Oh my gosh, that smells amazing. Oh.
I'm so excited. So sea cider,
Yes.
which we both love. I
We
mean,
do
and
both
I
love
do
it,
love
yeah.
cider. Like if
Yeah.
I'm going to have a beverage, I feel like that's usually my pick, my choice.
Yeah.
But
But-
you have a special surprise for
I
me.
have a special surprise for Robin today. I didn't know it existed, otherwise I would have had it earlier for you. But I found out that Sea Cider has a non-alcoholic cider. What? Hello. Raspberry lemon sparkling apple juice.
Mind blow.
Same bottle, same size, beautiful label. Temperance Roxy is what this is called.
When you brought it out, I just thought it was a new cider.
I know, you're like, oh,
I was like,
there
oh,
she
there's-
goes, another
Right?
alcohol.
I'm like, oh, this again.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you did get me.
Gotcha.
And I'm so excited to have Big Glass over here because
Yeah.
I normally, just in case
Yeah.
we haven't probably
nobody
talked about
knows.
this, in case no one knows, I usually like our studio is in Chelsea's house. So
In my wine cellar.
yeah, exactly. Also known as an upstairs bedroom. So that's where
this
we
is
are.
a podcast studio.
Okay, I mean this is the podcast studio, and
Nobody sleeps in here.
no, not at all. But yeah, so I come out to the West Shore when we come to record this. So I'm often driving. Like that's the point, is that I'm not
Right.
drinking big glasses of stuff. So today we have a non-alcoholic.
Is that the
beverage,
point?
which I-
Because you're driving or just because you don't like it?
sometimes I don't like it.
Yeah. So she takes a sip and then I finish it when she leaves behind closed doors. And I don't tell
Oh,
anybody.
that is amazing. Oh, good.
Are you so happy right
I'm
now?
so happy. This is my best day of my life. Well,
Is it really?
I don't know.
That's
Probably
cool.
not. I may have overemphasized that. Yeah, it's delicious. I love it. Good one.
Well,
Thank
you're
you for getting
welcome.
that. No, I appreciate it.
Trying to be thoughtful for once.
We're talking about.
Let's see. I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, you haven't tried it. What do you think?
It's so good.
Yeah.
Delicious.
delicious.
Why don't they make cider that tastes like that?
I don't. Well, I don't. I
Raspberry
think
lemon?
they do have really good cider though. I like the King and Spice.
Mhm. I
That's
have
really
some
good.
downstairs.
Oh.
It's like Christmas. It's a Christmas cider to
Oh, I'll
me.
go get that after. Take it home.
No, you get the non-alcoholic.
It's really good. I
That's
really
good.
like
It's
it.
very sweet though.
It is very sweet. So again, and it would be lovely with like summer salads and things like
It'd be
that.
lovely dumped in my glass of wine. Oh, good.
Just mixing
Spruce
stuff
that
around.
up.
Just getting it together over here for the day.
Bit of a bartender over here.
Magic hands. Chelsea Smith. Everyone, is that your bartender name?
Don't you have high expectations of me all the time?
I often have high expectations of you. What I don't have high expectations of is some of the men that both you and I have dated. Okay, that's
like
what
none
I don't
of
have.
them.
Okay,
Actually, I've lost, I think, any expectation.
which is too bad.
Which is
You know what I mean?
unfortunate, yeah.
Because I feel like it's hard. Like as a woman, I don't want to lower my standards. At the same time, I know that you know what I mean. You have to make compromises, and that's
Yeah.
fair.
And at
but
the same time, how high are your standards? Sometimes I wonder, are my standards too high? Or if you say that now you're settling because you're going to drop your standards, do you
Right.
hold out?
oh,
It's such a toss up.
it's so hard.
It is tricky.
Like I don't know. I feel like what would you say are your expectations on a first date? Do you have any? Do you go in with any now? Or
On a first date?
yeah, do you have any expectations at all?
So one thing that it's an expectation on being with someone or a first date or just meeting somebody, which it's seeming to be not an existent thing between men
No. Yeah,
leading up to the suspense.
I know. I
What
feel
is this?
like where's this going?
For some reason, it seems, I'm not going to classify all men in this category, but it seems like most men do not know how to say, "How are you?" How is your day?
Right.
What did you do today? What do you like?
Mm-hmm. You feel like you're driving the conversation and asking all the questions in the beginning.
So many
Yeah.
times I
Yeah.
ask, how's your day? What are you doing? What are you up to?
And
And then
it's-
they say, and that's it.
And that's it. They don't ask you a
Cool.
question back or anything like that. I find this a
Awesome.
lot too. And what's interesting about it is that I feel like for me, it's kind of an information session mission. Like when I ask you, oh, what were you up to this weekend? It's because I'm trying to find out what your interests are, what you did. Like,
Yeah.
did you play some sports? Did you go on a hike with your kids or your dog? Or
Getting to know you.
Exactly, right? Like it's like I'm actually not just asking because I don't have any other questions to ask, right? We're actually looking for some information about whether we have common interests there.
And because we care.
Yes.
Like, if you've been talking to someone or you're dating somebody and you're texting all day, what'd you do today? It seems like a normal question. How's your day?
Nothing.
Like, did nobody's parents teach them to say, good, thanks. How's yours? Like, it reciprocate the question?
Right. Yeah.
I would like to scroll through past messages and just count how many days go by without the person that I'm talking to saying, how are you?
Yes.
How are you today?
You know what? I'm wondering if this is something too that has kind of gone by the wayside because of messaging and texting. Because way back in my day, when you would make a phone call and talk to somebody, you
Yeah.
can't just not respond or not say anything on the other end of the phone, right? Well, how was your day? Great. Mine was blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like the other person would respond. You would
But they
have
can
to
respond and say, my day was great. I did this and this and this.
Crickets.
And that's it.
That's it.
Because you literally did just ask
Yeah.
them.
You're like, oh,
And so a
okay. I
selfish
had a great day
person-
too. I had a great
Yeah.
day. Yeah.
And
So
I've
you
been
should start,
told.
start responding with that. I had a great day too. Thanks for asking. Yeah.
Oh, no, I have.
Oh, good.
Many
Yeah.
times.
Good. Yeah.
And I have literally been told, well, you don't need to wait to be asked. Just tell me. You can just tell me about your day or tell me how you're doing.
Why would I do that if I don't think you're interested?
Why in the world would I do that? And by the way, P.S., if I didn't ask you, don't just tell me because I don't care.
Right.
Don't just tell me all about things that I didn't ask about. Bunch of weirdos out there.
People listening to this are like, wow, there's a reason these two are single.
High expectations, I guess, if you want someone to show an interest in you.
And
Very weird.
yeah, I find too, like when you're dating somebody, it's also, and this is something that I notice a lot. I feel like if someone's into you, you'll know. But if they're not, you'll be confused.
Yeah.
Does that seem
Totally.
like a
You'll
good?
wonder.
Yeah.
If you're
I'm always like-
wondering, they're not into you.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I find that that's always a thing, right? I'm always watching for that. I think for me, like 2 to 3 dates is the max that I'll give somebody. And then if at that point, like we don't, you know what I mean? Like there's just no chemistry, no mesh, no things in common. Or if it
questions
just, yeah,
asked.
no questions are asked, then perhaps it's not a thing.
I also think, though, that girls these days are causing this, too. They're okay with
Interesting.
it.
Yeah.
They're
So,
letting
yeah.
the guy just be one-sided. Cool. And then they'll just talk about themselves because what else are you going to talk about when you've asked somebody? Then it's your turn or whatever to get to know someone. And I think they just offer it up.
Right.
So guys don't have to, they can just be selfish because if a girl wants to talk, they'll just talk or something.
It's interesting. Yeah. And I wonder if it's just the way things have gone with our times, right? And now
Maybe.
with certain apps too, you know, it's the women making the first move.
Yeah.
And I feel like now because of that, men don't make the first move a lot anymore,
They
right?
don't.
So
They don't have to.
Right.
I have been told that I have too high expectations of texting. And we all know that I do enjoy a good texting conversation
And
during
we all
the day.
know that I enjoy sending you a big thumbs up, which you hate.
Because you're an asshole. Take care.
Take care to you. Okay? And also to you. Thank you.
But I don't think that I have unrealistic expectations of texting either.
Right.
If you and I were just meeting and getting to know each other and you texted me all day and all night, good morning, good night, and you did it, you started it.
Right?
Let's not forget, you started
Okay,
it.
I started it.
And we talked all day long and you were texting me first and asking questions.
Oh
and
yeah, I'm
showing huge
interested.
interest.
I'm interested. I want to know what you're doing. What's
Totally.
going on? Oh, what's happening in your
And
life,
that's
Chelsea?
like 2 weeks like that.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, you don't text me for that day, the next day, or you text me once or twice, and then the next day, maybe once or twice,
Off you
and
go.
you're short.
Ghosting.
That's no, I keep getting in trouble. Like, oh, you expect too much. I can't text all day.
But
Oh,
you
really?
used to.
You did?
Yeah.
So I don't expect you to, but you did, and then you changed, which means something has changed.
Right. And now you're confused, which means they're no
Right.
longer into you.
So
And
you
out.
either just
Yeah.
put on a show for 2 weeks
Right.
to catch me, and then you don't actually have that interest, or you think that's good now. Now we're an old married couple. We don't need to. We don't need to show interest anymore.
And at that point,
2
maybe
weeks?
like you haven't even met yet, right? Like this is before you even meet somebody necessarily in person.
Yeah, sometimes, but also
Yeah.
meeting and then
Yeah.
dating.
And then dating. Yeah.
Like the last person, I texted often.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he wasn't great to text at the beginning, so I did give him a bit of slack because he didn't start with something and then change. He just wasn't
Exactly.
really great at it from the beginning.
Right.
So that's different. I don't need to be texted all day long.
Right.
If you're working and you
Yeah,
work
you're
9,
busy. Yeah.
7 till 5 and
Sure.
you can't use your phone, great.
I
But if
agree.
you can show me that on most of the days you're working, you will text me all day and you're able to, and then to say, I'm working, I can't text you.
Yeah. Something's changed.
That's a lie.
Something's changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just spam. So
You're so
Getting
mad
so-
about it.
so worked
you're
up.
so fired up. Yeah. Let me ask you this. You're on a first date. Who pays?
definitely them.
Right. You and I feel the same about this, which I think is interesting. And I'm curious to know whether a lot of women feel this way or whether, more women are like, oh, no, like, you should always go Dutch. And that way you don't feel like you owe anybody something. But I'm sorry.
I don't feel like I owe anything.
I don't think I do either. And I feel like I'm just wondering if that's an old school way of thinking for women. You know what I mean? I feel like I always refer to myself as being old school when I think about that because I'm like, oh, I'm not. Like if you are interested in me, you will pay. Like you want to show me that you're interested.
But you're a gentleman.
Right?
It's called being a gentleman.
Gentlemen. Yeah.
And there's a difference between expecting them to pay for the rest of your relationship.
Right,
And
not the
that's
case.
not
Yeah.
the case.
No. Yeah.
Like I will usually pay on this. I like to wait till the third
Same.
just to see.
Same.
But I have on the second before and definitely on the third.
Yep.
Or let's go for dessert somewhere and then I'll buy. Like it's not about their money. It's
No.
the gentleman act.
Exactly.
If you sit back and let a woman pay on a first date,
Yep.
well, it's probably going to be a last date, or it should.
It is a last date for me.
For me too.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah. One date that really stands out in my mind, I think I've talked about it on the podcast maybe once before, is it was over the top, so it really impressed me. A guy took me on a first date to Butchart Gardens, so he came and he picked me up and he brought flowers, and it was Christmas time, right? So we went skating and stuff like that. Like we both didn't feel like it was we were super romantically interested in each other, so it didn't become a thing. But honestly, it stands out in my mind because I'm like, that is like a gentlemanly effort thing to do.
You put
There's
effort
no
into it.
effort anymore.
There is not a lot of effort anymore. No. Our faces right now are both.
Sad face.
Yeah. Yeah. I will put effort in,
Same.
but I also won't. I'll stop if I don't see it
Sure.
coming back.
Yeah. And that's fair. I think that's fair for anybody.
And not
though,
effort
right?
with money. Like, it doesn't have to be expensive things. It doesn't have to cost things. If you're broke, you can plan something pretty romantic and sweet without spending money.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? It doesn't have to be, it's not about money. It's just
No,
about the actions.
effort.
Yeah, and the actions.
Actions
which I think
speak louder than words.
right? Are you finding it, I don't know, like I'm finding it a little bit harder with the COVID situation too, because I feel like I want to know that people have at least one vaccine. I'd prefer you to be fully vaccinated.
Did you just say the V word on here?
I said the V word on here. Yeah. So I know that, but you know, I mean, I feel kind of weird. I'm like, do I ask that? Do I just find out at some point on the first date? Like usually I've just been sort of, it's naturally, like I haven't been dating that much, but on a couple of dates that I've been on in the last few months, it's just naturally sort of come up in the first date conversation. But I don't know.
I think if they are,
Yeah.
they will bring it up.
How do you feel about it?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
either way.
matter. Yeah. Yeah.
I got it for my own choice.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Which means
Yeah.
I should be good, right?
You're good,
Should be
right? Like
safe.
we're good to go. I mean,
Yeah.
we're safe. So I feel like I don't know. I just feel like it's I'm always like, do I ask? Do I not ask? Do I
I'm
say
also
something?
not on any of the dating apps right now.
Okay.
So
You took yourself off.
I did. Yeah, I
You need a break.
had a boyfriend. We'll do it in quotations.
Yes.
but
Oh
it
well,
wasn't.
it was
It was.
a
was.
thing. It was
Yeah.
a thing.
Yes.
And then
It ended very
it ended
promptly as
badly.
well.
I don't, do
Yeah.
you want to talk about that? I don't know. I think we can. I feel like people are interested and curious and want to know.
Could be another high expectations
Right.
thing.
Right.
if my expectations were too high. I personally don't feel like they were, but
I don't feel like they were for where you were at in the relationship and how quickly it had progressed. Can I say that? Like
Yeah,
you
it
both
did
seemed
progress
very
quickly.
into each other, and I felt like that was really a good sign. And then all of a sudden things got derailed when you guys decided to go on a trip.
it did, yes. So the outcome of that was I got Elephant Island wine.
Yeah.
And
Which
I'm
is
really happy with it.
I think it's fantastic, and you have a lot of it.
And I have a lot,
You know?
and it's kept
So you
more
don't-
coming in January.
And you don't have to share it
And I
with
don't,
anyone,
but
which
I
I think
do.
is good.
I choose
yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Yes. It doesn't text me, but it tastes good.
It tastes good.
Yeah. And
That's true. It could text you.
makes me
Maybe there's maybe they have a
maybe
service.
I set that up. I'm a member, but I had a text service.
Have you ever dated somebody that has lived, and I'm curious to know this if you would. One thing that's come up for me a couple of times in dating is people that still live at home with their exes. So
Oh,
the
gosh.
relationship hasn't worked out. They have kids, which makes total sense, right? Like, but they've actually been not together for a while, but
Right.
they're still living in the same house for whether it's convenience or they haven't told the kids or whatever. That's a no for me. It's a hard no.
That's a hard no for
Yeah.
me as well. I know that my ex-husband was dating and telling people that we lived in the same house, but we weren't together when we were. So I don't trust anybody that says
Okay.
that. I
That's
don't.
good to know, right?
I think if you're really done, you'll move out.
Sure. Like if you're friends, if you're being good co-parents,
Yeah.
you do all those things, but please don't live in your ex's home.
It's weird.
It's weird,
Yeah.
right? Okay, thank you.
It's not. It's not okay.
Yeah.
Did that just happen with someone you met?
No, not recently, but it's happened twice, which I feel is a lot
That's a lot.
considering,
The rental market's crappy though, so
that is
right
true.
now
yeah.
it could be that.
It
they have
hasn't
nowhere to
happened,
go.
but it wasn't even recent. It was like maybe a couple of years ago, and literally I had two within a 6-month span, and I'm just like, is this really a thing? Like, are people still? And I do understand we live in a place where it's expensive to live and things like that, and maybe the money comes into it. But if you're done, you're done, and you eventually have to move on, right? For both people.
So
I
what
think.
would you go to their house and all hang out together?
I don't know.
It's weird.
I feel like in both cases, I feel like the kids also didn't know that what was really going on because they were still quite young, which is, I guess you're waiting for the right time to tell them or whatever. But obviously when mom or dad brings
probably
home a
cheating.
boyfriend, right? Like, I don't know, or they're not home because they're staying overnight at somebody else's house. Does that?
Or did they have rules where you weren't allowed to?
Yeah. The other person, their partner did know, and they were quite open about it. And so, I mean, I guess for the right person, maybe that works. It's just not me.
Not me. No, get out of my house. If we're done.
Get out of my
There's
house.
no room for you in this mansion. Sorry. It's not. That's weird.
No.
Yeah, I won't divulge the whole story of our trip, but I do think having expectations that your partner shouldn't probably go back on Tinder while you're still on holidays
I don't
together.
know. I think you're asking a lot. Okay.
Like,
So-
are my expectations high? I'm not sure. To be fair, we had had a fight and ended it, basically.
I don't know.
But it was like within minutes back on Tinder while we were away.
I just
So-
think that you wait till you get back to the home
I
base.
think so,
I just
yeah.
think that that's like, just a respect
a
thing.
respect thing.
Yeah.
But that was what ended it, is a lack of respect. So
So,
you
okay.
disrespect me, it's unfortunately I'm not into you anymore. It doesn't work.
And I think that's fair.
And I don't think that's
So.
super high expectations.
I don't know.
I'm not
I-
lowering that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like you should be able to be exclusive with somebody and then
Yeah.
not be on Tinder if
I
that's what you want. I
Feel
feel like that's right.
Should be a thing.
Yeah.
But maybe not these days. I don't know.
It was
Sure.
interesting. I saw something, and I just wrote a few notes down from a dating coach. Her name's Amy Noble, and she has a 3 to 4 rule for weeding out duds. So this is her 3 to
okay,
4
let's
rule.
hear it.
Let me know what you think. So she says the 4 things that we need to be compatible are chemistry and connection, core values, emotional maturity, and availability. Right? Because sometimes one person's available and the other person isn't. Relationship readiness. So are you both ready to actually be in a relationship? And then she says on dates 1 and 2, like discuss career and relationships. So passions, what you're looking for in somebody, that kind of thing. and by date 3, it's like family and deal breakers. So, if you're into getting married again for many people, right? That kind of
Or
thing.
kids.
Kids, communication styles, lifestyle things. And if they don't check all the boxes by the end of the 3rd date, then it's not your person. Agree or no?
Well, yeah.
I think
guess
3
if they
dates is
said,
fair.
I want to have more kids, and
You would
that's
be
a,
like-
I need to, and I'd be like, well, that's not going to work.
Yeah, because this is closed. These legs are closed.
Oh, it's not
for
closed.
business.
Just for the baby.
Just for the
making.
baby.
Well, it's closed right now,
Right.
but
Yeah. I just thought that was interesting because I'm like,
Yeah.
I do feel like by the 3rd date for sure. And I've had some dates. Honestly, I feel like and I know many people say this. They're like, oh, you got to give it more chances, Robin. You got to go like out on like 5 dates. And I'm like, no, but I know within the first 15 minutes. And if I don't want to kiss you, I can't see myself dating you.
oh yeah, if you don't
Right?
want to, you should want to right away.
You should want to right away,
Yeah.
right? And that's the thing. And I know people are like, oh no, it grows on you. Like somebody can grow on you. Do they?
Yeah.
Have you had that? Okay, you've
Yeah.
had that. Yeah.
When a certain somebody, when we went on so even just on the apps, we had decided we weren't compatible. I had a kid. He didn't want kids. He was short. I didn't want a short guy. Like just all these things. But we really enjoyed talking and texting each other. And so we decided to meet for a drink. And he pulled up in his single cab short box, like just a little mini truck. And he gets out and
You get out of your giant truck.
Well, I didn't have that
Okay,
at that time.
yeah.
I also had I had a car at that time.
Okay.
But still, which is nothing wrong with the truck, but he got out. Then just looking at him, I was like, okay, no, like this, we made the right choice. Like this isn't going to go anywhere. Well, almost 3 years. We got stuck in it for a long time. But yeah, it shouldn't have gone anywhere.
No.
So the original deal breakers were deal breakers, but I wasn't like, he didn't get out. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to kiss him. He got out and I literally laughed out loud. I'm like, oh yeah, no, friend choice was good. And then we hung out for 8 hours that day.
Huh.
Like we had an 8-hour day together,
That's
and it
pretty
was
cool.
such a
Yeah.
fun day. And then we had so many fun days. So
Interesting. So maybe
I don't think it's a first. I don't think you
Okay.
can go off first.
Okay.
But definitely by a third,
you would know.
you
Yeah.
should know.
Yeah. Here's something
Then
else.
you're going to hit the friend zone for
Exactly.
sure.
And that's the thing. And here's something else that you do differently than I do. When we find out that somebody just wants to be friends, I'm like, okay, bye. And you're like, all right. You
I'm
know what I
like,
mean?
Yeah, I'll change your mind. Fucker. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm not sure if it quite goes that way, but okay. Yeah.
It usually does. No, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like friends.
I do too, but I just feel like
You have enough.
I feel like I just sometimes I don't even have enough time for the friends that I have, and I'm just like,
It's true, I
okay.
never hear from you.
I just you're like, how come I just see you like passing ships in the night in our podcast studio, which is in your home? You're like, why are you here at 2 a.m. and not here during the day?
That's fine.
Like, whatever.
I'll come over at 2 a.m. The door is locked, but I'll open it for you.
I don't know if
Because
you
the
will.
door's open, but it's
I would
not.
prefer if you didn't, and I just broke in the back door. Okay, I feel like I need some more excitement in my
It's
life.
not a Halloween episode.
Shoot. But yeah, I do feel like I don't know.
Is it because it offends you? Like if they say, I only want to be
necessarily.
friends?
Not necessarily, because I often, I'll go
You
on
feel
dates
it.
and I don't necessarily feel it either. But I guess I'm just not.
Looking for
I'm
friends?
not looking for friends as much as I want to. I want to save some of the time that I have for somebody that wants to date me. But I feel like you're better at just being friends, and I think you have a really good reason why.
Well, yes. For one, you don't know who they know.
Exactly.
You don't know their circle. And by just limiting your friend circle to the ones you have, you can't date past it.
Mm-hmm.
If you make new friends
That's a
and
good
they
point.
really like you and they want to be your friend because they like you and they think you're cool, if they have a friend, I have kept friends that we didn't go anywhere, but I have often thought, oh, who can I set you up with? Oh, I have this friend. Maybe you'll like her. It's opening your circle.
Right? This
Right.
is opening my eyes.
Opening your eyes.
Do you want to go on a date
How's
with
your
me?
drink? Yeah, sure. Are you going to pay? Or am I? Who would be the man in this case? That's a good question for our friends that go on dates with women.
Yes, absolutely.
women's.
I like that.
Two women's.
Two women.
Two women?
Two women's.
Sorry,
Yeah.
women.
But that's a good point.
Who
right?
pays?
Who pays? It's not a question for us,
No,
but
it's
if
not.
you
Next
have thoughts
episode.
on it, yeah, absolutely, let us know. But
Yeah.
but
Or
yeah,
two guys. Like who
totally. That's a good point.
with two guys, do you fight to pay, or do you just know that?
I just pay in candy corn.
And
or
I've eaten
whatever
almost
candy.
all of it.
See, this is how I woo you. Is wooing
Doesn't
still
take
a thing?
much. I can get
Wooing.
wooed very easily by candy,
Woohoo!
candy and wine.
Candy and wine. No, it's all it takes. Okay, so
So I think here's a project for you.
okay,
Start saying yes if somebody says they want to just be friends,
okay,
and
see
chat
where
with
it
them
goes.
and
Yeah.
hang out,
Yeah.
and have fun. Because also, it's my other thought on it,
Mhm.
and I'm very knowledgeable.
You are. Yeah, you have a lot of experience.
Follow me for
Yeah.
more dating tips because I'm very good at it. What was the question?
I'm gonna
I knew
unfollow
that
you.
was gonna
Actually, I'm gonna unfollow you.
Okay, hold
Is
on.
that okay?
Back to my thought. What was it? The other reason. Oh,
That
yes.
you're to stay friends with
I
somebody.
got
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
So, as soon as
Unfollow.
it's okay, you have to follow me. You're my co-host.
Shoot.
As soon as two people decide to be friends,
Right.
all pressure for me, anyways,
Mhm.
all pressure
It's
is
taken
off.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Then I can just be myself. Then we have fun,
Mhm.
and sometimes it usually turns into more. Not always, and that's not why I say yes,
No.
let's be friends. But for me, it's like pressure's off. I still like talking to you. We still text and hang out and do all the fun things, but there's no pressure of the relationship thing. Maybe I have commitment issues.
Follow her for more tips.
Coaching tips. I just coached myself.
Mm. If you know a great dating coach, let us know. Don't mind if we do on Facebook and Instagram. Okay. Well, this was
I
fun.
think the dating
I don't
coach is
know.
going to not refer our episode to any of their clients, probably.
Probably not.
No.
That's okay. It's not our jobs.
That's
We're
not-
not professionals at that. We're just professionals at other
At
things.
being awesome.
Yeah. As always.
As always. Yeah. On that note,
Yeah,
what
cheers.
else do we have to say?
Don't mind if we do.
Don't mind if we do. Be awesome and single forever
Shh.
with lots of friends.
Yes. Thanks for listening to Don't Mind If We Do. If you loved it, please share this episode with a friend.
Follow us and check us out on Facebook, and we'll follow you back as long as you don't mind if we do.
You probably won't mind. You'll probably like it.
I'm gonna